Hey, what's up, YouTube? I'm just reading a little bit of Word. You know what I'm saying? The Word, WORDS, is like the SWORD, is like the sword. And I was actually reading, you can join me. It's no problem. I was reading Exodus chapter 4. And I'll go back. And it says, "And Moses answered and said, For behold, thou wilt not believe me, nor hearken unto my voice. For they will say, Thy Lord has not appeared unto us or thee. And the Lord said unto him, What is that in thy hand? And he said, A rod. He said, Cast it onto the ground. And he cast it on the ground, and became a serpent. And Moses fled from before it. And the Lord said unto Moses, Put forth thy hand, and take it by the tail. And he put forth his hand, and caught it, and it became a rod in his hand. That they may believe that the Lord thy God of thy fathers, the God of Abraham or Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob, hath appeared unto thee. And the Lord said furthermore unto thee, Put now thy hand into thy bosom. And he put his hand into the bosom, and he took it out. Behold, his hand was leprous as snow. So that means that he was actually black. If his hand came out to be leprous as snow, white, he was black. And he said, Put thy hand in thy bosom again. And he put thy hand in thy bosom again, and plucked it out of his bosom, and behold, it was turned again as his other flesh. And it shall come to pass, if they will not believe thee, neither hearken to the voice of the first sign, that they will believe the voice of the latter sign. And it came to pass, if they will not believe also these two signs, neither hearken unto thy voice, that thou shalt take off the water of the river, and pour it upon the ground land, and the water which thou takest out of the river shall become blood upon the land, the dry land. And Moses said unto the Lord, O my Lord, I am not eloquent, neither herefore nor since thou hast spoken unto thy servant, but I am slow in speech, and slow of tongue. And the Lord said unto him, What hath made man's mouth? Or who maketh thou dumb, or deaf, or the seeing, or the blind? Have not I? Said the Lord. Now therefore go, and I will be thy mouth, and teach thee what thou shalt say. And he said, O my Lord, send, I pray thee, by the hand of him who thou wilt send. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Moses, and he said, Is not Aaron the Levite thy brother? I know that he can speak well. And also, behold, he cometh forth to meet thee, and when he seeth thee, he will be glad in his heart. And thou shalt speak unto him, and put words into his mouth. And I will be with him, I will be with thy mouth, as was with his mouth, and will teach you what ye shall do. And ye shall be thy spoken man unto the people, and you shall be, even you shall be thee instead of a mouth, and there shall be him instead of God. And thou shalt take this rod in thy hand, wherever thou signs, thou shalt do signs. And thou shalt take this rod in thy hand, wherewith thou shalt do signs. And Moses went and returned to Jethro, to his father-in-law, and said unto him, Let me go, I pray thee, and return unto my brethren which are in Egypt, and see whether they be yet alive. And Jethro and Moses said to Moses, Go in peace. And the Lord said unto Moses in Midian, Go, return into Egypt, for all the men are dead, which sought thy life. And Moses took his wife and his sons, and set them upon an ass, and returned to the land of Egypt. And Moses took a rock, the rod of God, in his hand. And the Lord said unto Moses, When thou goest to return to Egypt, see that thou do all those wonders before Pharaoh, which I have put in thy hand. But I will harden his heart, that he shall not let the people go. And they shall say unto the Pharaoh, Thus saith the Lord, Israel is my son, even my firstborn. And I say unto thee, Let my son go, that he may serve me. And if thou refuse to let him go, behold, I will slay thy son, even thy firstborn. And it came to pass by the way in the end that the Lord met him and sought to kill him. Then Zipporah took a sharp stone and cut off the foreskin of her son, and cast it to his feet, and said, Surely a bloody husband art thou to me. So he let him go. Then she said, A bloody husband thou art because of the circumcision. And the Lord said unto Aaron, Go into the wilderness to meet Moses. And he went and met him in the mount of God, and kissed him. And Moses told Aaron all the words of the Lord who had sent him, and all the signs which he had commanded him. And Moses and Aaron went and gathered together all the elders of the children of Israel. And Aaron spoke all the words which the Lord had spoken to Moses, and did the signs in the sight of the people. And the people believed, and they heard that the Lord had visited the children of Israel, and that they had looked upon their affliction. Then they bowed their heads and worshipped. That's about it from there. I'm going to get back to you, and I hope that goes through. And that was reading the book of Exodus, and that was chapter 4 in the book of Exodus. And I actually read the whole chapter, so you need to read it with me. I'll read it and we read it. And this is the word, and we're going to go through the word. I'm going to explain to you as we wake up the foolishness that has been set down in America and around the world. Gotcha.